What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Top Ramen. What I want to bring to you today is a video about the top 5 reasons as to why you should get into tech, or at least learn how to code to some degree. We're just going to get started with this. The first is literacy. Up until this point, literacy basically just consisted of knowing how to read and write. You can extend that definition to knowing math as well, but as we move into the future, literacy will absolutely include for sure coding, or the ability to manipulate a computer. And I'm not just talking about manipulate a computer like, oh, I know how to do some Microsoft Word, or I know how to do some Excel. No, none of that. Literacy will include coding, so you're going to need to know how to create, how to go to a computer, find the problem, and fix that problem. Now, I'm not just talking about, oh, I found this on cell D13. No. You're going to need to go into that system and figure out what bugs are causing your computer to act the way they're acting. It's going to be major. You already got kids in the 2nd and 3rd grade learning how to code to some degree. They're doing like the fundamentals, but that's just preparing them to be more experienced with it as they get into the higher grades of their education. You might have like an 8-year-old right now. He or she is going to end up going to college in 10 years, or if they decide to, just go straight into the workforce. They're already getting the training that they need in school to some degree, so they're going to be in demand once they're ready for the workforce. You better become in demand, or you will be out of the workforce for sure. Second, the demand. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands of jobs around the country. If you're not here, this is the United States. Around the country that demand positions be filled. I just checked recently, just in Philadelphia alone, there were over 9,000 positions that were available. And that was just on one website, Indeed.com. On the same website, I saw that in Seattle, Washington, there were over 13,000 jobs available. I'm sure if you go to San Francisco, there's probably even more, as that is the biggest tech hub in the country. So the demand is definitely out there. Companies need people who know how to program and who know how to create software so that their businesses can stay afloat. In 2000, let's say 20, if your business does not have some sort of online presence or some sort of successful use of technology software, they're likely to go out of business. It's going to come down to this. So you better know it, and you better have it for your company. With that demand, there's going to come a lot of financial stability. I was just checking on Indeed. Regardless of how you feel about that website and their statistics, based on their reporting, I think the average salary for a developer in San Francisco was $122,000. Ridiculous. The average in Seattle, according to Indeed, once again, was $113,000. You make of that what you will. You can do your own research, which is cool, but there is definitely financial stability. If you have the skill set for this industry, you can definitely find yourself creating a successful lifestyle. Whether you want to work for yourself or whether you want to work for one of these Fortune 500 companies, it's definitely possible. But you got to learn a skill set first. You can't just walk in the door and say, oh, I know this. You got to prove it. And if you can prove it, then that stability will be there for you. If you decide not to go onto that scale, if you don't want to go into a Fortune 500 company or one of the biggest tech startups, whatever, there's still a lot you can do with coding just on a micro scale. If you go into your communities, there's plenty of people that I know that you know who have some sort of side hustle, or maybe they have a completely legit business or whatever. Whether it be a car wash, a daycare center, who knows, a lawn service. Everybody needs some sort of internet presence. Some companies may even want an application, like a mobile app, whether it be for their employees or whether it be for their clients, their potential clients that they want to reach out to. Everybody needs some sort of tech impact, basically, so that they can stay afloat and remain a successful business. Another thing is the creativity. There's not another industry that allow you to just come up with something off the top of your head and be able to put that in front of people, an actual product in front of people with minimal overhead. The only thing that you need for this industry and trying to create is time. Um, think about it. Uber. I think the story goes like the founders of Uber, they were like stuck in London or something. They couldn't catch a cab, so they were like, "Oh, I wish we could have some sort of service where people would just pick us up where we want them to pick us up at." Now look what you got. You got a multi-billion-dollar company who uses other people's cars to be successful, and that's all just based off of an application you have on your phone. Let's see, if you want to go to Instagram, all you do on Instagram is share pictures and videos. I mean, that's it. You don't have to come up with the most mind-blowing idea. It just has to be some sort of idea that's well executed, and if you execute it, then most likely you will be successful. But there is a lot that comes with it, so don't just think, oh, I got this great idea, I'm gonna execute it, it's done. No, not really. You got some shit that you need to know. Throughout time, we've been trained to just be consumers, but with tech and knowing how to code, you can be more than a consumer. You can now be the producer, and producer of great products that the whole world can be affected by. And really, no one can tell you, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Shit, all you need is your computer at home and some time, and whatever idea that you have, you can definitely bring that to fruition. Be creative, come up with your own ideas, and put them shits out there. You can really bring anything to the table, and there's an audience for it. So just get out there, keep coding. If you don't code already, learn how to. Definitely easier said than done, but I will be bringing you some tutorials to teach you how to code and how to go about doing this. Tell a friend, subscribe. I'll see you next time.